Funhouse active, king of the palace, rubber like Malcolm, balled up fist in the air to the fast lit, yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down, I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out, young nigga got a fetish for success, if I ain't next and I just leave impression, next to rain on the window pane, puffy plain Jane, let them second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the porcelain skin, grip the wheels, let the horses why they trash to the chore on my list? Added this orbit, I serve with the pen. I'm eating good, Miss Caloric as shit. I sipped the potion and poured it in. I on the tide when she poured it. Opportunity knock at the door, then I grin. They rush for the doors, then they open like biscuit. Pin stroke, game cold as the fridge. Sound wave for like more than the clicks. Cowabunga, search the world for my shit. Ayy, wait. Been gritty, don't pity, they full thing with me, been real, fuck trending, I'm hype, I'm litty, been this since scrimmage, don't play game with me, I volley these hits like I play tennis, I drink this shit, nah, I live it, don't pity, I live here at the top of the titty, said I run this shit, how I try to with the pistol, why they flop with the vision, jaw drop when I spit it off top, little bitch, me these 7 figures catch the fade when they chip me, then I count it down to the penny wave, ay, heavy is all on my mind, I've gotta make that edit, wait, but I might spark that wildfire, rebel when I breach, funhouse active, yeah, king of the palace, rubber like Malcolm, balled up fist in the air to the flashlight, yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down, I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out, funhouse active, yeah, king of the palace, rubber like Malcolm, balled up fist in the air to the flashlight, yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down, I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out, I just might crash it, really I'm passive, run up the manage. Catch me, I just want passion, long attraction, let me do that shit, I just might crash it, see if it's passing, run it from manage, catch me, I just want passion, long attraction, let me do that shit. Charge on its last light. Same clothes on from last night. Still lit like it's last night. Young living in the fast life. Young. Smoke cloud from the ash pipe. Catch air from the half pipe. I need a centerfold from the shows with the mansion. Chandelier dancing. Counting a Branson. Yeah. Been had hella Franks when it's ballpark figures. Might be in the field, but I came from the trenches. You can tell it's my time to get better split. I do like the charm on my wrist, let me split. Want me pay the way, I'm the waves, I'm authentic. Sitting courtside, got a sprain. Nigga, I run the gang for the gang. Nothing but a thing when I sang. Young Usain, I sprinting. Getting fresh prints. Counting a blessing on blessing on blessing. They call me the reverend, y'all nigga play too much. I've been so gone off the praises, I end my hiatus by sparking that flame. Shit, y'all niggas stay in your lane, young entertained. I'm next to rain, the fuck is you saying? Out of my brain, not from this planet. Hide from the cameras, high up the energy sent to me. From the enemy, that's the advantage. By doing the damage, accounting advances. I buy you my nemesis. This is my genesis, I never had privilege. They took our innocence, but fuck that, I'm young and I'm wild, going ignorant like funhouse active, king of the palace, rubber like Malcolm, balled up fist in the air to the flashlight, yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down, I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out, funhouse active, yeah, king of the palace, rubber like Malcolm, balled up fist in the air to the flashlight, yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down, I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out, funhouse active. Funhouse active, yeah, king of the palace, rubber like Malcolm, balled up fist in the air to the flashlight, yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down, I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out, young nigga got a fetish for success, if I ain't next and I just leave impression, next to rain on the window pane, puffy plain Jane, let them second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the porcelain skin, grip the wheels, let the horses why they trash to the chore on my list, added this orbit, I serve with the pen, I'm eating good, Miss Caloric as shit, I sipped the potion and poured it in, I on the tide when she poured it, opportunity knock at the door, then I grin, they rush for the doors and they open like biscuit, pin stroke, game cold as the fridge, sound wave surf the web for my shit.
The longest 5 minutes in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chase, CR Media, as you all may know me, here for another episode, Season 2, Episode 3 of Bad Booking with my friend Mark, Pro Wrestling Kingpin. Mark, how are you this evening?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty fantastic, sir. This is the show where we break down the landscape of professional wrestling, kind of put our opinions on it, have fun, chat with you guys, get you guys involved. Kind of want to talk to you guys about what happened tonight. And this is Mark and I's starting off topic, if you will. But before we do, want to ask everybody, or first say thank you to everybody for tuning in with us, and then ask everybody, no matter what your platform you're watching us on, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, make sure you hit the like button and the thumbs up button, whatever that may be. Throw some emotes in the chat so we know you're there. It also helps us, guys, because it lets YouTube and Twitch know that you like watching the show. So they will more than likely share the show out for other people like you to watch the show.
Oh, hey, man. Thanks. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching,
Graves.
bro. Thanks,
Absolutely. Man. Anthony Graves. Appreciate Anthony and his kind words. But the I guess the hot topic of the day would be NXT Vengeance Day. Its own little show. You know, it wasn't a weekly show named after a big name show. This is one of their higher tier shows. A premium live event, if you will. I don't think Roadblock will be a PLE, or will Roadblock be just
I think it's just one of those like kind of like AEW type deals where it's,
where it's weekly NXT named after.
I think so. I'd have to double check. I'd have to double check the date, but
they mentioned it during the broadcast. They said Roadblock and then Stand and Deliver.
Right.
But if I remember correctly, I don't think they use Roadblock as a PLE. Anyways, Vengeance Day. Damn good event from start to finish. Mark, let's get your knee-jerk reaction, man. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was a damn good show, man. I was entertained from start to finish. Went 5 on one of my picks, no big deal. I'm just out here predicting life. But I thought the show was fantastic. I mean, we definitely saw the Carmelo Hayes turn coming. We'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, overall, I thought the show was great. I was highly, highly entertained. Yeah, man.
And you know me, man. I'm real big on, wrestling is subjective. It's what you want it to be. Not necessarily what you want it to be. I think that's a really poor choice of words on my part. But it's how you interpret it, right? So sitting in the car, driving to Alton, Illinois. Sorry. I, for the life of me, cannot stop using the S in Illinois. I've had trouble with it almost my entire flipping life. Anyways, I'm in the car and we're headed to a wrestling event. And somebody in the car was like, gosh, man, I turned on that NXT for the first time in 4 or 5 years. And man, that was the biggest piece of, poop I've seen in a while. And I was like, that's harsh. I was like,
really?
I actually happen to like the NXT show. And, regardless of kind of some of the things in WWE that you may like, you may not like, I think, I'm first to admit that for a while I didn't like NXT after it switched from the black and gold
to 2.0. 2.0 was kind of rough. 2.0 was definitely rough. Yeah.
And when they, but they found a way to turn it around and keep it going. So it's one of my favorite shows. So I always like these takeover events, and this one didn't disappoint me at all. Like I said, knee-jerk reaction. I loved the show from top to bottom. It was predictable, but that's okay. Just because it's predictable doesn't mean that it's not a good show. I think the matches that were put on were still fantastic, and I think that they still told good stories So we'll get into this thing, man. We started off now. Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett. Are they now the permanent team on NXT?
Seems like it.
Yeah, because they Booker's not there anymore. It seems like, and so, or I don't know if Booker's going to a part-time thing or what the deal is.
I mean, wasn't Wade Barrett on SmackDown?
Yeah.
So isn't that the team, him and Corey Graves?
Yeah, they made an announcement about that during the week. They were like, "Hey, our new announced team for SmackDown will be Corey Graves."
So is Wade Barrett just doing double duty?
I don't know. Are they going to replace Wade Barrett this week with Booker T?
I don't know.
Back to Booker T. I don't know. But I thought they both did a great job. I was a little Wade Barrett's one of those ones where I'll admit again I was not fond of him to begin with. He is growing on me, and I do happen to enjoy his commentary a lot more. Booker T was the same way. I thought Booker T was the absolute drizzling shits when he started doing commentary.
Drizzling shits.
Yes,
okay.
The drizzling shits.
Okay.
But he has grown on me as well. The 2024 NXT Dusty Road Tag Team Classics. Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin versus Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. That's how we started off the night. Yes. I thought that stuff that Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin were doing is great. I love this run that Baron Corbin is on in NXT. I think it has rejuvenated him. I think that I know a lot of people are upset that he didn't keep his, end of days or lone wolf theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one. But I just feel like when I watch Baron Corbin on NXT right now, it looks like he's having fun. And like, that's cool to like see guys that you can just tell are into what they're doing and they're having fun. And I have a soft spot for Baron Corbin because he's from Kansas City. So, listen, I don't want to hear it. Every single time CM Punk gets brought up, you get a massive like pep in your step.
I don't.
He's from Chicago.
I don't.
You liar.
I don't. I mean, I love CM Punk, yeah, but I mean, he's better than. I know you're not trying to compare him to fucking Baron Corbin.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Happy Corbin.
Yeah,
that's
what I mean. Like,
come on,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Though he looks like he's having fun right now. So, and that's
he wasn't
cool,
happy
man.
when he was happy. Corbin, he wasn't happy.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
It didn't seem like it.
No, he didn't.
We kind of saw the writing on the wall here. Didn't take away from the match. The match was still very good. But I kind of thought that this is exactly how I thought this night was going to pan out. Carmelo and Trick would lose here. And then later on, it just didn't happen exactly how I thought it was going to happen in the main event. But if I was mapping the night out, I was going to say like, hey, they should lose this match. And then something later on in the night would cause them to lose the main event. It was still a good match regardless. They seem to do this every year with the Dusty Rhodes tag team thing, though. They seem to use it as there's two things that they try to accomplish every year, I feel like, with this Dusty tag team classic. One, to put an odd couple together, and B, to turn somebody against somebody, because it just seems like every year we get an odd pairing for the tag team, and sometimes that odd pairing is the ones who go on later that night to turn on each other or whatever. Not later on that night, later on in the tournament they turn on each other, but somehow, some way, somebody turns on somebody, and we always get an odd couple pairing. That it just seems like the annual thing to do with the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
No, yeah, I agree. Like I said, the match overall I thought was great. I loved it. I did predict wrong. I really did think that Trick and Carmelo were going to win just because of Braun Breaker getting the call up. Him being on Monday Night Raw tomorrow.
Carmelo got it too.
Carmelo hasn't been officially called up, but he's been on. He's been on like he did the U.S. title tournament and everything like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it could have went either way, is what I'm saying, which is what I like. But like I said, my official prediction was Trick and Melo, and I thought later on, that's when the foul play would have came in. And but whatever. Like I said, the match was great, but it's just one thing I don't like about it is not the match itself, but what you just said. It's used to put an odd pairing together, and it's used to break somebody up when the classic should be highlighting your tag teams, your legitimate tag teams. And you know how I feel about that with the odd pairings and everything. It should be used to highlight and give opportunity to actual tag teams that are going to be there for some type of longevity. I don't see how long the Wolf Dogs are going to be together. And obviously we see what happened with Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. So, I mean, I just feel like they fumbled it in that aspect, but the match, like I said, was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, of course you'd love to see, people like, the family or other tag teams in NXT kind of get that spotlight there. Yes, they're showcased in the tournament, but you would like to see it come down to those main or those, actual tag teams,
right?
Solidified tag teams. Yeah. Like I said, good match to start off the show.
Good match. That spot with what was it? Braun Breaker did, I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's an official move, but it was like a release German suplex into a cutter. That shit was nasty, dude. Loved it. That was probably my favorite part of the match. It's very rare for me to be like, holy shit, while I'm sitting in the couch by myself. But like, I was just like, oh shit. That was one of my favorite moments of the match. That was fucking nuts.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see stuff like that, especially from a guy like Braun Breaker. Not that he's not athletic, but when you think of Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin in a match together in some way, shape, or form, you don't think innovation, right?
Right, exactly.
And so in a world where a super kick is the first move, the second move, and sometimes the last move, and every because I don't want to say this and people think, oh, Chase hates matches like this. But, we do live in an age where a finisher has to be used 30 times in a match before it actually finishes somebody. And I'm over exaggerating. I don't mind a lot of finishes in a match if it makes sense to the story they're telling in the match. So I just want to, like I said, I don't want people to be like, oh my God, Chase hates more than one finisher in a match. No, that's not it. In a world, though, where there is 17 and it's just really hard to get us to go, oh my gosh, and hang on the edge of your seat. It is nice to see guys who aren't used to doing that kind of stuff do it and still kind of give you that shock value, especially in a match where we, not a match, but an event where we kind of thought it was predictable, right? Dijak versus Joe Gacy.
I enjoyed the match too. Like I said, every match I enjoyed. So, I mean, you don't really have to ask me that. I love Joe Gacy's character. I mean, even leading up to this past week on NXT, where he just shows up out of the garbage can, the character is just hilarious and creepy, and I love it. Get a lot of different vibes from him. Going back to maybe some Bray Wyatt type deals, other people that I feel like characters you can compare to him. But when he showed up in NXT and he came out of that garbage can, and he was like, no DQ. I like it. Like that, just little things like that really make me catch on to a character. And Joe Gacy is that guy. Dijak is, the powerhouse. I kind of miss him as Dominic Dijakovic character. This character is kind of weird to me, but the match overall I thought was great. The table spot was one of my favorites. I personally would use Legos because that shit hurts like a MFer. That if you want to put some pain in somebody, you bust out some freaking Legos. But I thought that was cool, something different than seeing thumbtacks or anything like that, busting out the tools, the toys with the army men. I thought that was really cool. But like I said, if you guys are watching, bust out some Legos and you really got people cringing.
Yeah. The thing about Dijak is, you know, when he was Dominic Dijakovic.
Dijakovic. Mm.
I felt like he was more himself. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I think that's why that character flowed better for people. Whereas this character, he's just, I mean, like a Terminator. I know that's kind of he's like a hitman almost. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it seems real. It seems kind of stale. You know what I mean?
I feel like the character that he has would be a character that could be utilized in a faction, more so him being utilized by himself.
Yeah.
Like same with I'm blanking on his name, but he was part of the Way, and he had the mustache, and he crawled in. I forget his name. I'm blanking. I'm sorry, but it reminds me a lot of that character. Not as far as a similar character, but just I feel like it's like a supporting character, so to speak, as opposed to someone that could, you know, be a headliner or a champion or someone that I could, you know, build a company around. I'm not trying to say that he's not that, but I'm just saying like it just doesn't flow with him being alone. I feel like he needs to be with a tag team or a faction or even a manager, so to speak, to something that could get him over.
Somebody that could talk for him.
Yeah, because the character is just like you said, it's very stale and it's just weird.
Yeah, I agree. Gacy did it, flip, and accidentally hit a woman in the head in the front row, and Gacy's boot.
Gacy's boot, yeah. Rough.
She'll get free NXT tickets for the next few months.
Right.
they'll let her come to a few shows for free.
Right. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the match itself, and like I said, going forward as we break down the show, the matches were all solid. But yeah, when it comes to Dijak, I feel like he needs a character change again, maybe just to go back to what worked. Otherwise, I just feel like he's just a guy who should get lost in the shuffle. And he did pick up the win tonight, which I thought he would get the win, but it's just where we're going with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Couple of backstage segments here. You know, JC Jane, Thea Hale. You know, they're looking at the 2024 Chase University calendars. That whole thing going on.
They're saved.
Family. Yeah. Then we get the family. Tony D'Angelo, Channing Stacks, and Adriana Rizzo versus Bronco Nima, Price, and Parker with scripts, which super, you know.
Bro, that entrance was so cringe.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. I even tweeted it out. I was like, yo, this is some stereotypical ass shit. It reminds me when the Mexicools came out in the goddamn freaking lawnmowers. Like, I mean, bro, like, come on, guys. Like, I understand the story you're trying to play. They come from the hood, but you could still get that point across without coming out with goddamn low-rided bicycles. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Is Vince still back there booking these this racist bullshit? Like, come on. Let's get it going.
Him or Bruce. So yeah, the family picked up the win.
As they should.
Yep. Kiana James and Izzy Dame were in a segment. And then James was eyeing the NXT Women's Championship. James told Dame to keep an eye on Jordan to stop the future from becoming a reality. And then we saw where that came into play later. So
yeah.
Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams were being checked out by the medics backstage. Williams asked Hayes why he took that spear from Breaker earlier in the night. Hayes justified it by saying that Dragunov would benefit from it. Williams told Hayes that he wanted him in his corner for his match later that night,
which led to his downfall.
Exactly.
Yep.
The NXT women's match, Lyra Valkyrie against Valkyria, and Roxanne Perez, which was a damn good match up until Lola Vice.
Bro, I think it was my favorite match, even with the insertion of Lola Vice. It still kicked ass. I think it was my favorite match of the night.
It was damn good.
It's unfortunate that Lola Vice had a failed cash in. I'm not for with the failed cash ins. I feel like if you got it, that means we're putting our faith. Yeah, I agree. I feel like if I'm giving you something to cash in, you're gonna be the next big thing. 9 times out of 10, it should be successful because I'm putting in my trust. I'm putting in my trust in this person, and I felt like she got kind of dealt a bad hand there. But even with her insertion, the match did not just like go awry. The match was still fantastic, and it was my favorite match of the night, hands down.
It was a fantastic match, but just like you, I get really sour on failed cash-ins. I get it. Like we do it for unpredictability, right? And that's fine. But 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, the cash-in shouldn't fail. It's a predictability that I think is okay. It hypes people up. Because watching this match, and like you mentioned, you got what, 13 out of your 15 predictions right, or whatever you said.
5 out of 6.
Oh, 5 out of 6. Yeah,
There's only 6 matches tonight.
Yeah. I don't know where I got 15 and 13 from. That was weird. But 5 out of 6 of your predictions right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it still was a damn good event, even though a lot of that stuff is predictable. What the breakout contract, with the Money in the Bank briefcase, what the Feast or Fired, what all that stuff is meant to do is, when you hear that music hit and that person comes out, they're more than likely going to cash in and they're more than likely going to win. And I get it. That's predictable. But, man, like, you still get that adrenaline rush. Like we knew Seth Rollins was going to win at WrestleMania 31. Like, there was no doubt in anybody's mind that Seth Rollins was going to win as soon as his music hit. But nobody complained. Like, the Levi Stadium in San Bernardino, California, went fucking AWOL when Seth Rollins' music hit WrestleMania 31 to come cash out. Nobody went, oh man, now this means Seth's gonna win. This is so predictable. I can't believe I paid this money to WrestleMania to come see this predictable shit. No, it was something cool that happened. Like, so predictability is okay sometimes, and in situations like that, I think it's okay. So when you hear the person's music hit and they come out with that Feast or Fired, or that Money in the Bank contract, or that breakout contract, NXT breakout contract, whatever it is, what's about to happen, but it's still the adrenaline rush of the excitement. And that's how I feel about it. So I love the match. I agree with you. I think it was probably one of the best, if not the best match of the night. I hate failed cash-ins.
I hate failed cash-ins too. But like I said, throughout the entire show, I thought I want to highlight that the storytelling was just on point. Even later on, as we saw backstage, now her failed cash-ins leading into a feud that you could take my money with Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice, because Roxanne Perez just got screwed because it went to a triple threat, which she wasn't expecting, and it seemingly that she was about to win that match. So now we could see Lola Vice's first legitimate feud without having backup. So we could see what's going on there. But like I said, failed cash-in, really sour. I agree with you, but did not take away from the match at all. The match was phenomenal.
Absolutely not. The North American Championship, Oba Femi. I keep wanting to say Femi.
Oba Femi.
And defeated Dragon Lee. I dug this match, man. I love that. I love that Oba dude, and
so for our many viewers that know me, everyone knows I hate big men.
Yeah.
But damn, Oba Femi, what a beast. What a monster. And I just want to personally thank Shawn Michaels and whoever was involved in booking the show, because I was petrified that this was going to be a squash match, especially with how they're pushing Dragon Lee on the main roster. I was like, please do not do this to this man. I dug the match just like you. I thought it was great. Oba looked strong. Dragon Lee still looked strong, even though he lost. He put up the fight, the underdog fight that we all expected him to do. And Oba's looking like a damn superstar. Fits the mold of what WWE wants. I love what's going on with them right now. Shut up.
Yeah, man. Raising Personalities, who is Mark's co-host on the Smack Talk podcast. Make sure you check that out on Mark's YouTube. He says J-Lo Vervice can't convince otherwise, and Kingpin trying to repair his image for big man love. I don't hate it. I don't
Screw
hate
Great
it.
Khali.
Absolutely. There's there's big men that move with, that are agile and move around great in the ring and that are great athletics in the ring, great wrestlers. And then there's Great Khali. We can't bundle them all in the same group as the Great Khali, Mark. That's just not fair.
I agree. That's why I just gave Oba his flowers. I'm liking what they're doing with the character. I love that he cashed in so quickly. All right. He knows what he wants. He's going for it. I didn't get a squash match tonight, which I was petrified that we were gonna get. All is good, man. All is good.
Yes, absolutely.
Kingpin loves big man. Yay.
Does Oba remind you a little bit of Keith Lee?
I could see it. I mean, I don't think he's athletic. No, I'm not gonna say he's not as athletic as Keith Lee. Keith Lee just is a different style. He's a powerhouse, yet he does a lot of quote unquote flippy shit that people don't like. But I don't know.
He's
maybe
very agile for a guy.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
But two different. I mean, I think they're two different. I mean, I could see a little bit of comparisons, but two different. I mean, he's a powerhouse, but Oba so far is not a powerhouse that's been, not stereotypical, but the mold of what a powerhouse is in pro wrestling, which is same boring character and just like, Oba right now has been very entertaining. So we'll see how that goes so far. So Oba, Ahmed Johnson. Yeah, I can see that too.
Okay. Ava Rain promoting the next NXT shows, including NXT Battleground and NXT Roadblock. So Battleground and Roadblock are the next shows coming up. Safe to say they're probably going to be weekly shows, not PLEs.
I don't remember either of them being PLEs, but we could be wrong. We'd have to check the dates as of right now. Let's just say that they're just a weekly show, like a special event type show. But we do have some time before Stand and Deliver, so maybe one of them could be a PLE. So we'll see.
We had the Blade and Brinley Reese segment backstage, and then we also had the Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice brawl.
Love that too.
Yep.
Love me some backstage brawls like the good old days. Love it. Give me more of it. And I'm here for their feud. Roxanne, like I said earlier, is now got a chip on her shoulder. She's super pissed off. She got screwed again. She never lost the title to begin with, and now Lola screwed her tonight. So give me that rivalry.
Absolutely. The main event time. Ilya Dragunov and Trick Williams. What'd you think, man?
Great match. Fantastic. Trick Williams is a freaking star. I could see that guy headlining WrestleMania. Super over. Dragunov is great in the ring. I absolutely cannot stand his finisher. Cannot stand it. Even though it's different, I link that with the spear. I link that with the super kick nowadays. That is just a punch falling on his face. I hate it. I don't care what anybody says. You can come at me in the comments. You can come at me when I clip it. Hate it. But love the match overall. And like I said, Trick Williams is a star.
Okay. I don't hate I don't hate Dragunov's finisher at all. I love it. But I also love, I argue with people all the time. I got friends that are major MMA fans. They can't stand the Superman punch.
Mm-hmm. Can't stand that either.
I love this. I love the Superman punch. Yeah, I like both of them. So, this match didn't disappoint. Especially when Dragunov got busted open, I was like, this is this is everything I hoped it was going to be. They didn't sugarcoat Trick Williams. They didn't. They didn't give him the pretty boy treatment. He got down and dirty with fucking Dragunov. So,
dude, the Uranagi off the side of the ring.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. They. I loved everything about it. Obviously, you and I have talked. Prior to going live, it was not how I saw the Carmelo Hayes turn going. But obviously we both saw the turn coming tonight. It's just not how I envisioned it being. But still, I think for their friendship and their teaming for so long of what they did, and then letting this story play out, Carmelo coming back and Trick had kind of, blazed his own trail and was doing his own thing. And now Trick was a top star, and you could kind of see a little bit of Carmelo getting a little bit jealous of that. But man, I felt it was a very good story being told, and whether or not, we saw it coming tonight, it was still wonderfully done.
Yeah, their story is one of the top stories, if not the top story in NXT right now. I didn't think that was the way it was gonna turn either. I knew it was happening tonight. I felt as though maybe he should have cost him the victory somehow. The referees were down a couple times throughout the match. Maybe him attack him that way. I thought attacking him after hugging him right after was kind of weird, but like I said, I get the story. I understand what was going on. I understand the turn, and definitely the motive behind is 100% jealousy. Carmelo wants to be on the main event scene still, wants to be going after the NXT championship. So the story makes sense. But I love it. And, give me Carmelo versus Trick and Stand and Deliver, and probably Trick going over Carmelo, and Carmelo goes to the main roster after that full time. So we'll see.
Definitely. We will see. Give me 1 second here.
Yep.
All right. So if you wanted to grade the show, what would you grade the show?
4.5. 4.5.
That's okay. That's definitely steep. But I like it. I
would say 4.5.
Yep. Okay.
Out of 5, right?
Yeah. 1 through 5. 1 through 5. Okay.
Oh, that's what we usually do, right? 5-star, 5-star mold. I saw Steven Chambers put the 7. I was like, oh wait a minute.
I know. I was like, well, Steven. I don't know. Steve is. Are we going Meltzer ratings? Are we going 5 stars? Like, what are we doing here?
We're going the bad booking rating, and the bad booking rating, we do 5 stars here. We don't care what the hell Meltzer has to say around here.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I'd say 4.5.
Okay.
You?
I'm gonna be a lot lower. I'll probably go 3.3.
Whoa. Really?
4.5 is really good, man. I mean, like, hey, we have to establish something here, okay?
Whoa.
Jake, the aerial assassin, usually puts all of his, ratings in Discord, and he does them based off of a 10-point system. Now, understand, and this is something I've tried to explain to Jake as well. Like 8.5 is like really, really high. That's like you giving the show 4 points or 4 stars or 4.5 stars. That's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Because understand something that if you give a 5, that show is perfect. You don't have to watch wrestling anymore, Mark. You've seen perfection. You can literally turn the remote off and never watch it again, because nothing will ever be perfect ever again. So that's how I do my rating system.
All right. So you got a 3.3. All right. Let's roll your 3.3. What would you have changed? What didn't you like, which made you do a 3.3?
It was a good show, but I mean, it wasn't a 5-star show. It wasn't a perfect show.
So what would
It
you
was
change?
a really, really good show.
What would you change? What made it a 3.3?
Not anything that NXT could, not anything that NXT could fix. You know, NXT is, not to sound like a jerk, but NXT is not capable of putting on a 5-star show, a perfect show. Because again, you can look at that all you want to, but I'm doing common sense ratings here. You threw out a 4.5 because you really, really liked the show.
Yeah.
Now what?
Exactly.
Now what am I going to tell? Now, okay, when you watch a show that is better than NXT, better than the show you saw tonight, what are you going to rate it? A 4.6?
Maybe
4.7?
Maybe.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like
Maybe.
That's why I'm doing my ratings the way I'm doing them.
Maybe.
Because
everybody has their own ratings. I was just curious as to what you would change, and I still haven't gotten a legitimate answer. So that's
because like I said, there's nothing that NXT could have done. I mean, obviously there is a little bit of things, but it's not all. NXT couldn't do anything to make it a 5-star show because to me, NXT can't put on a perfect show.
Okay.
So
agree to disagree, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, your ratings are childlike. My ratings are realistic.
See, now that's where you go too far there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to agree on shit, but you saying my ratings are childlike, that's just
it's a childlike system.
That's just
that's
you're just speaking like a child, going with saying it's a childlike system
because
you didn't agree with what I'm saying. Like, I'm not insulting you in any way, but what I'm saying is that I just don't think it warrants a 3.3. Now, do we agree to disagree? Yeah, cool. But I'm not going to say, well, Chase is a little girl by doing a 3.3.
I didn't say you were a little girl. I said the rating system was childish.
That's not. I'm just giving you an example of what you are saying.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
That's all I'm saying. So we could agree to disagree. Hey, I mean, you're the one sending insults here, not me.
No, I didn't say an insult.
That's what it is. No, that's what it is. You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with anything I say because
it's a very basic
podcasts and live streams are all subjective, and it's whatever people think, and there's no wrong answer. I was just curious as to why you had a 3.3. That's all it is. If you don't like the fact that I get a 4.5, then that's fine. It is what it is. But saying that I have a childlike thing, that's just discrediting anything I have to say.
Childlike was a very poor choice of words. That's
agree. Just kind of stupid.
It's a very basic and cookie cutter grading system. Is all I'm saying.
Whatever you say, but that's just stupid.
All right.
Moving on.
Next subject.
Yeah.
You've got the lineup, not me, guy.
Oh, do I? I see your red. I'm looking at it. You have it highlighted right there. I see your little red hash mark right there.
Yeah, but I don't know what order you want to go in.
Just read it down. It doesn't matter. AEW.
CWLL Luchadors attack Moxley. Trios match set for next week.
I'm sorry, I was reading the comment. CWL Luchadors attack Mox. Trios match set for next week. I mean, it's cool. I'm a big Luchador guy. But like we said last week, dude, Forbidden Door here is just wide open, or it's just like nothing special to me anymore. You know, when AEW's inception came and we had some random people come here and there, then I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. That's from a different promotion. This is from a different promotion. But now I see 3, 4, 5 stars a week from different promotions. It's like, okay, who works for who? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I mean, I'm interested in seeing what the match is going to be. And if it's going to be a rivalry that carries through, but like your Forbidden Door pay-per-view just goes out the door because every week, every show, I have someone that does not officially work for AEW on the show. So
yeah, and like you said, we both kind of talked about that or touched base on that last week, just because you've got a lot of guys on the roster who aren't being used, and yet every single week we're, hey, this guy from CML or CWLL or AAA or
do you watch CML CMWL?
I will watch CMLL if they're bringing in like somebody well known, like they brought when Kenny Omega was, and that wasn't the last time. I know there was a time before then, but every once in a while when they'll have like AEW guys or New Japan guys like show up there for special occasions, I'll watch those.
Yeah, see, but that's my point though. Like I have I'm letting you right now. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like, hey, what's going on? I have no clue who any of those people are. I've never watched a second of CMLL. Don't even know what it stands for. Have to Google it. Like that's what I'm talking about, man. It's like a lot of people. I watch a lot of mainstream stuff. Okay, the most indie I get is MLW. I'll occasionally see some clips from New Japan. I'll occasionally see other things here. I start getting more into NWA now because they're on the CW. But like, this is what I mean. It's like, oh, these people come, and I'm like, okay, cool, and I'm supposed to be like, oh man, they're amazing. I don't know who the fuck they are. Why am I supposed to be like, holy shit, yeah, these guys are awesome. This is a little faction that showed up, and now they're feuding with the BCC. Cool, especially because I love luchadors, but it's just like, I don't know who they are. Why should I care? Especially when next week I'm sure somebody else from a different promotion is going to be there.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure either. I'm excited for it, but
one thing I won't take away from AEW is that the match quality is always there. So yeah. I'm sure it's going to be a killer match and it's amazing. But I also like storytelling, and I don't know what the story is here. Like, Yeah,
I agree with you. I think that it's cool. It's cool when they do it. I'd like to see them take a step back on it a little bit, just because like you mentioned, it's not really a forbidden door if it's always open, right? And then the other thing is, I don't mind if they bring people in and it's like, hey, I don't know who this is, because a lot of people always complain about that of, oh, like AEW is always letting people show up on TV and you don't know who they are. Well, go find out who they are. But when it's like a constant thing, and then it's,
I'm for that too. We live in a world where we can Google and I can see who's this guy, who's that guy, and I agree with that, and I agree 100% with that.
It loses luster and it loses its meaning when I have to do it every single week.
When I have to do it every single week, and maybe 2-3 times a week, it's like, okay, I don't know who this guy. Let me see who this guy is. That's fighting, Bryan Danielson this week. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. At least leave it up to the announcers. That's your announcer's job to be like, oh, this guy is the world champion. He's been the world champion for CMLL, whatever, he's well known. Like, give me something, not just like, oh, these guys are from CMLL. All right, cool. Their faction, how long have they been together? Why are they here? Why are they sitting front row? Like, are they guests of AEW? Like, why are they here? They just wanted to watch wrestling today? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just, I wake up to watch wrestling every day. Me too. I'm gonna go fight Mox now. It's like, I don't know. It's just
the AEW rankings.
What a blunder that was. So here we go. The AEW rankings for, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but they linked the men's contenders all in one, meaning, so you have Samoa Joe, Christian Cage, Orange Cassidy, and Eddie Kingston are the current men's champions. And they have all of their rankings linked into one. They didn't separate by divisions. They're all just contenders, and they could go for any championship, I assume. I don't know. But your top 5 contenders for the men's are Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, Adam Copeland, who I haven't seen in a couple weeks, Jon Moxley, and Roderick Strong. Those are your men's contenders. But like I said, they link them all together. Don't know who's the number one contender for who. The only one that is for damn sure is Swerve is the number one contender, and that would be for the AEW World Championship. But we'll see that for sure come this Wednesday when him and Hangman face off to be the rightful number one contender for World Championship. Other than that, we don't really know where these rankings are. I'm a big fan of rankings. the AEW rankings, but this one's kind of a mess in my opinion.
Yeah. Any predictions on TK's announcement for Dynamite?
I hope it's not Mercedes. I don't want an announcement. I just want her to show up. I'm more of a like holy shit type moment, and I would want Mercedes to show up at Revolution. Possibly the Owen Hart tournament. Is it time? Is it already that time?
I think they had it in May last time, right?
Yeah, okay.
Around May-ish. So
Okay.
I think like Double or Nothing is when it came. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the timeline, but I mean, if that's the announcement, that's fine. That's the announcement. That's cool. I just hope it's not announcing a wrestler because I felt like they kind of dropped the ball when they signed. While I'm blanking out. We just signed him, but he still hasn't been here. From New Japan, feuded with Hangman. I'm blanking out. One of the biggest stars in pro wrestling, and I can't even think of his name right now.
Okada?
No, not Okada. AEW signed him. He's officially All Elite. They signed him a few weeks ago. He had the feud with not Hangman, with oh my god. Why am I blanking out right now? Someone please help me here because I'm just ruining this whole show. Wow. I hate my life right now. Will Ospreay, thank you, Terrellism. Love you right now. You are the best. Like him signing Will Ospreay, okay, and Will Ospreay has not been here because he wasn't going to show up till March. I thought that was kind of weird. So if they do, hey, it's Mercedes, I'm kind of gonna be upset with that, but I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah. I'll be upset, but at the same time, I'd be happy just because she's in AEW and she's a talent that could help that division even more.
Yep. You pick something out of this AEW pile that you want to talk about. If not, we're gonna move on to the big gigantic elephant in the room.
The big gigantic elephant in the room. Let's see. So we'll just do a quick. So Bounty Hunter Brian Keith is now All Elite. I don't know anything about the guy until him just showing up. What else? I think
it worked out. Him just showing up for a few weeks, and now you know him, and now
I know him.
Now everybody's excited.
So he's All Elite. It is what it is.
That's my dude, man. Let me tell you something.
Do you know a lot about him? School me on him. I would like to know.
So he's from Texas, and he had a very basic like gimmick of just almost a name. It wasn't even really a gimmick, and then he got into the gimmick, and it's kind of like a dead man taker. But he's the bounty hunter. But he doesn't do like weird shit, like whatever. And he's extremely talented, and he's a sweet ass dude. And let me tell you something. We the I-70 Hot Tag sponsored a match that he was in.
Oh, cool.
Here in Kansas City. First time meeting him from Kansas City. He knows Moonshine Mantell, who's a fucking phenomenal person and wrestler. After meeting him in Kansas City and sponsoring the match one time, I went to LA, saw him at GCW, and he remembered me.
That's cool.
So he came to St. Louis for GCW, remembered me there too as well. So that's my dude, man. I fucked with the bounty hunter.
Well, at least all his TV time led to a contract. Meanwhile, we still have 50 other people from other promotions just taking TV times for people that actually work there. But I digress. Hook, is it time for him to take the next step, or is this just like what we're gonna do with him?
No, I think it is, man, and I think that him getting that title shot was the next step for him. I think all we'll do is continue to see him excel.
Yeah, I think it's time maybe him to go after a legitimate mid-card belt, and I think it's time to just put away this FTW. Why it gets defended on national TV? They have enough championships. Give them one to actually go for. That's just me. Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Hate it. I just want to reiterate.
I feel like I feel like we covered that last week.
Yeah. So what there is no next step for Hook, guys, in his weight class, but now there's too many belts. Really? I mean, I don't know if I agree with that statement. I mean, there is a next step for him,
this is what I think. I think that watching what happened with Hook in the title shot, I think that they see like, hey, we've got something here. So do I think he's going to be a world champion in the next year? No, but I do think that you will start to see him excel. Is he going to be TNT champion or international champion next month? No, but you will start to see him excel. And those will be the milestones next. But like I said, watching what they did and how they did it with him and Samoa Joe, I mean, all the finishers and Hook just looked unstoppable, and he looked like this this irresistible force that he's been painted to be since he showed up. And then they went out and they actually did it with him. Like I said, I think he earned a lot of fans, and I think they're going to start doing something with him.
I agree with that. So Terrell, I'm reading this. I don't agree with the statement when it comes to his weight class, because AEW doesn't do that WWE mold. I mean, do you think Adam Cole is going to be a champion in AEW? Because they're pretty much the same stature, weight, all that stuff. So I don't believe in that statement. Maybe in WWE he would get quote unquote buried. But I don't agree with that statement. I'm not saying, like Chase said, I don't think he's going to be a world champion this year. Who knows when that will be, but I think he could be a world champion. But we should just have to see with him.
Absolutely. So enough of all this boring ass AEW stuff. As you mentioned, WWE, the gigantic elephant in the room, Cody Rhodes, and Bayley both are making their decisions this week. Both were very obvious, but I loved how they did it. To a certain extent, I love that they did it on SmackDown. I wish that they would have done it on SmackDown. Like, there shouldn't have been a Monday Night Raw, because like there was no question here what Bayley was going to do, right?
Okay.
I mean, okay. I know the story, right? You know what I mean? We get it. There was no question.
I was very confused. I thought you said you liked the Cody Rhodes thing for a second.
Second thing with Cody Rhodes, where they make and we'll get into that. We'll get into that as well. Mm-hmm. But this second thing of Cody Rhodes, where it was like, it's gonna make you wonder, is he gonna, when he did that, when him and Seth had that stare down on Raw, like, I bet it makes him wonder, like, is he gonna go after Seth? No, he's not going after Seth. Like, shut up. That was dumb. It was dumb to imply it. You can imply it now, obviously, but I mean, on Monday when they did it, it was stupid to imply it. So obviously, Bayley, they did the whole, I mean, it was different, but they did the whole Batista evolution one, where Bayley is smartened up to the fact that Damage Plan was going to turn on her, or were trying to actively work against her. So we're going to get Bayley versus Io Sky at WrestleMania. So you've got your, women's main event right there. And then Roman comes out, and Roman cuts a promo on how Cody shouldn't go after him. Cody should go after Seth, and how, he's this and he's that. Cuts a great promo. It's money every single time Roman Reigns is on TV. That's why he should be on TV more. But I get it, and it's the way his contract is, whatever. And then here comes Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes cuts a great promo up until the very end. And I'm sorry, I've read, and I do agree. There is a lot of toxicity with wrestling on the internet. But I've read a lot of people who are like, man, after this Cody thing, people on the internet, well, that's because it just didn't make sense. It's not that I don't, it's not that, whatever, it's a WWE decision. I get it, but there's other ways to do it. If that's what you wanted to do, we've got a raid from our friend Hunter Dillon with 4 viewers. Appreciate Hunter bringing in people to watch the show. Guys, this is Bad Booking. We talk everything in pro wrestling. We are actually currently right now talking about the Cody Rhodes thing on SmackDown. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the follow button. Appreciate Hunter Dillon. Mad love for Hunter.
Appreciate you, Hunter.
Absolutely. Also, because there are two of us, not only show CR Media some love, but also show Pro Wrestling Kingpin some love on YouTube as well.
Appreciate you.
Of course, I'd pop in the middle of the Cody Roman Rock discussion. Absolutely. Man, I'll ask you, Mark, because I saw the internet's reaction, and the internet has every right to react the way they did. It was a silly, goofy decision. I get it that Rock and Roman is the match to have at WrestleMania. I understand. But like, what's the point of winning the Royal Rumble if you're going to, the whole point of winning the Royal Rumble is to main event WrestleMania. So is Cody going to keep his WrestleMania ticket in the back of his pocket and do it next year? Because the main event of SummerSlam, this is what frustrates me. Like, I get it. Like, I understand that and there's a reason why it's the most disliked video on WWE's playlist right now on their YouTube. Over 500,000 dislikes on that video. But I get it, man. Like, I understand that, Rock and Roman is the money match to have. Absolutely. But there should have been a different workaround from this. If this is what they were going to do, Rock should have came in at number 30 and won the Rumble. Because at any point in time, and, I understand, like, it's a story being told or whatever, but what was to stop Cody Rhodes from getting himself traded to SmackDown and challenging Roman there? What was to stop him from doing that? What's to stop any of these guys from? It was like the conversation about the Money in the Bank contract we have, of why it's stupid to cash in on United States titles, is because any of those guys in the Money in the Bank ladder match could walk up to the U.S. champion at any time and be like, "Yo, I want a match." I mean, the Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble give you special occasions. Okay, the Money in the Bank, you can cash in the Money in the Bank at any time, at the end of a match, at the beginning of a match, in the middle of a match, in the middle of the hallway. You can cash in Money in the Bank as long as you got a referee with you. It's like the 24/7 title. Royal Rumble guarantees you a main event WrestleMania. It's not just a world title match. It's a main event WrestleMania world title match. So why would Cody give up his spot for The Rock? It just doesn't make stupid.
It doesn't make sense.
What we're gonna do, if you were gonna pull the rug out from underneath Cody, then you should have had Cody challenge Roman, or you should have had The Rock challenge Roman at WrestleMania, and then Cody say, "No, I want Roman at WrestleMania," and then Cody say, "Well, then I'm gonna use my Royal Rumble shot at Elimination Chamber to face Roman," and then have Roman beat Cody again, and we go a whole other year to finish the story, and then you could do Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. They've done that before, where Royal Rumble people face the guy in February, and then they go face somebody else at WrestleMania. They've done it. It's not a big deal. It's okay. So why did we do that? Why did we not do something different than? Because it's stupid. I don't want to see you finish your story if you gave up your spot to another guy. That's weird.
You
are literally making him. You're making him a dislikable character more than what he already is, or not more than what he already is. But he's a babyface in WWE. But I mean, like, how unlikable is the guy that wins the Royal Rumble and then gives his main event WrestleMania spot to another guy? That's weird. I
think it's stupid. You and I have been talking about it for weeks. We knew it was going to happen, but my problem is the way that it happened. You know, you had me backing your prediction very hard. I was like, you know what, Chase has got to be right. Night 1, Roman Rock. Night 2, Cody Roman, and I was cool with that. Him giving up his spot is purely because he's a yes man right now. It's just like, yep, no problem. And I don't know if you caught it, but
that's the backstage. That's the backstage of it. Like, and that is. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you know, I get it from the perspective, but story wise, we're watching Cody go out there and cut this promo on Roman, and then goes, yeah, I'll fight you at WrestleMania, just not this WrestleMania. Well, wait a second. Are you gonna hold off your WrestleMania cash in until next year's WrestleMania? I don't think that's how that works. Like, you know, it just doesn't make sense. I get it. Like, I understand. Like, my idea wasn't extremely ideal. I loved my idea. To me, I thought that was the only way that it would work. But I get it. Like, I know there is other ways that maybe I'm not, you know, keen to. Again, you could have had Cody fight Roman at Elimination Chamber, you know, in a big event in Australia, and make everybody think that Cody's going to win it then. And Rock and Roman will be a non-title match at WrestleMania. And then Roman beats him, and then Roman goes on to face Rock at WrestleMania. I don't care. Like, I don't care how it was done. You could have just done it, but you did. You decided to do it in a way that makes zero fucking sense. None at all.
Yeah, it made zero sense. I do want to just go back a little bit. Like, the whole Monday Night Raw promo with Seth and Cody, when I was watching that promo, that's when I knew we were going to have some shenanigans, because I felt as though that promo that Seth Rollins gave Cody was not even for Cody. That promo was for the fans, to try to sway the fans and being like, hey, it's okay if Cody challenges me. Because the promo that he tried to make, that this is the title, this is the most important title, that I'm the A champion, I'm the one who you should be really going for, which obviously didn't work because we see the backlash. But I felt like that promo I thought it was a very good promo, but it still didn't matter at the end. But I feel like that promo was to try to sell us fans. That's what it was.
It never mattered. And like, you know, I don't want to be the get off my lawn type, you know, because, you know, I'm the first one to be like, you know, shut up and enjoy it. But dude, it's not even poorly written. Like, I mean, like, they don't even care. Like, they do it on purpose. They know that they made that fucking title just to appease fans who were like, yo, like, the title's never there on TV. So they're like, hey, we're going to put this title there. But even after they tried to introduce the title and shove it in our face and be like, hey, this title is just as important as Roman's title, they'll turn around and do stuff where they're like, yeah, it's not as important as Roman's title. We know it's not on the same caliber level as Roman's title. So even Roman, like, and Roman mentions it in every single promo he cuts. So it's not like they're trying to serve us this dish that says, hey, this title is just as important as Roman's title. Like, no, they even acknowledge it on TV. So you're mixing shit here when you try to convince us that if Cody goes after the world title, it'll be just as important. It makes no sense.
I agree.
That's what bugs me about it, is that, you know what, it can make sense and me not like it, because I'm cool with that. I understand, like, not everything. I don't have to agree with everything. I don't have to like everything, but at least make it make sense. This doesn't make sense. It's goofy. And it's poorly written. I mean, like, if, you know, we've seen it done with the Intercontinental Championship for the past 25, 30 years, dude, where the Intercontinental Championship has been a top tier, you know, title. Like, it was a big fucking deal. Then we've seen it treated on TV where it's not a big deal. Like, where it's like, you know, like there was some time periods there where the Intercontinental title was looking like it was going to be defended on, you know, Main Event or Superstars or, you know, stuff like that. Like, it was completely irrelevant. And they do certain things and they'll try and put it on people, and they'll go through spurts where they try to act like it's a big deal and it's a prestigious title. They could have at some point in time this summer turn that title, that world heavyweight title, into a more prestigious title, but they haven't. They have literally told us, like it's in every single promo that Roman cuts, and they mention the world heavyweight championship in Seth Rollins. He makes it a point to bury that title and say, that's not the main title. I got the main title. Well, then tell the company to stop trying to convince us that it's that it is as important as your title, because you and everybody else knows it's not. Yep. So if you win the Royal Rumble and you earn a main event to go to WrestleMania, why would you not choose Roman's title?
Agreed.
And if you win the Royal Rumble and you defeat 30 other superstars, why in the absolute fuck would you give your spot to somebody? Again, they didn't have to go with my idea. I get that, but at least make it make sense.
So where does Cody go from here now? Is it Seth? Do we wake up the day of Elimination Chamber of him beating Roman Reigns? Like, no. what are we doing?
Roman's not wrestling until WrestleMania.
I agree, but I'm just saying that's what the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community, is saying it's going to happen. It is not going to happen. But what's your prediction? When does Cody get a shot? Are we really? Is he going to come out with nowhere in my contract does it state when I win the Royal Rumble I have to go to this WrestleMania? I have to wait till next year. When's he get a shot, or is his shot going to be Seth Rollins?
Steven Chambers says Backlash. I've seen that. I've seen that on there. Backlash.
Where's that at? Is that in France or whatever?
It's in France. But again, if you win the Royal Rumble and earn the main event to WrestleMania, why would you wrestle? Why would you wrestle at
a different show? I agree. I agree. It's 100%. So that's what I'm saying. So are we going after Seth? Is that just what it is then? If Seth can even compete, if he's even healthy by then, are we going to get a good match quality? Seth might be 70% at that time.
So again, okay. So now let's go down that road. I hate the idea of Cody challenging Seth. Let me tell you why. Because Cody has mentioned several times since the World Heavyweight Championship was introduced that it is not the title that evaded his father, that is not the title to finish his story. So now if you say, well, Cody won WrestleMania and The Rock took his place against Roman, so now Seth is going to go after, or now Cody's going to go after Seth in the World Heavyweight Championship. So now you've said that Cody is not, like, you know what I mean? It's, again, make it make sense. I'm not saying it couldn't happen or it shouldn't happen. But what I'm saying is that if you've told us that Cody is hell bent on not going after the World Heavyweight Championship, but going after the WWE Championship to finish the story, and now all of a sudden he's I'm going to go after the World Heavyweight Championship, then I need something to make it make sense.
I agree. So, I mean, nothing makes sense right now. So,
and that's why it's massively frustrating.
Yeah, like Torelloism here saying they need to find some way to pivot away from this. They need to actually listen to the fans for once, which I don't think they do, because at the end of the day, WWE just doesn't give a shit, in my opinion. But they need to find some way to do it.
We've seen times, but I don't think that this is one of those. Torelloism says WWE can salvage this if Roman versus dude. They're going to have a press conference this week promoting Rock versus Roman. They're not pivoting Rock versus Roman to Australia. It's not going to fucking happen. They're promoting, like, they're having a press event in Las Vegas this week on Thursday to promote the Rock versus Roman Reigns. Like, this is their big money match. And I agree, this is the big money match. Do it. But if you weren't going to have the Rock come into the Royal Rumble and win it, or if you weren't going to have CM Punk win the Royal Rumble to challenge Seth, then why did you have Cody win? To give up his main event spot at WrestleMania to somebody. It doesn't make sense. I don't
know. I don't get it either, man. Like I really have no words. We've exhausted just talking about it and how much
I know.
we dislike the situation. There's nothing that could really do to fix it unless they come out and just say, "Hey, we fucked up. This is what we're gonna do." Unless they take accountability, stating we fucked up, The Rock just backs out, like, "Hey, you know what? No, this is your spot. My bad." Or pivots in some type of way where it's after the fact. I don't fucking know, because you don't need the championship to fight Roman Reigns. You easily could have saved this for France, or you could have saved this for SummerSlam, or whatever the case may be. You did not have to do it at WrestleMania. I understand that it's big money and it's the premier matchup, and it makes sense that you want to do it at WrestleMania, but you didn't have to. You just wanted to.
So, well, it's the right call to have Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania. It's the big, like I said, it's the biggest matchup. So do Cody versus Roman at Elimination Chamber. I mean, there's ways around it, and there's, like I said, some people may not agree with it. Just make it make sense. This doesn't make sense. This is just like Cody winning Money in the Bank and then handing the briefcase to Rock and saying, I'll win Money in the Bank again, and I'll challenge and I'll use it some other time. You go ahead and use it this time.
So we got I feel like we've exhausted this whole thing. So
yeah,
we've got Rock and Roman Reigns. What are the chances Rock wins?
0.
Exactly. How far are we taking this title right now? Are you on my side yet?
Yeah. If he wins at WrestleMania, he shouldn't lose again. This is insane. WWE WrestleMania or WrestleMania 40 is already sold out. Rock adds nothing in terms of money for tickets. That is the stupidest statement of the night. The dumbest statement of the night.
We're sorry.
The dumbest statement of the night. Absolutely ignorant. That was the stupidest shit I've read all year. Rock adds nothing in terms of money for tickets. He adds nothing. What? Come on, man. Come on. Rock being added to WrestleMania just made this the biggest WrestleMania in 10 years. I agree. Like, I'm not saying like
I don't disagree with his statement completely. I think it adds to more viewership. I think it adds to more merch selling. I think it adds in other aspects. But the show is already sold out. But I mean, tickets still, get resell. They go at higher prices. People want to see it more. All that stuff. I don't 100% disagree with your statement. I think your statement has some validity. Oh my God, I can't speak.
Very little
validity to it.
Very little.
Yeah,
very little.
But he adds
very little. Don't give more credit. Don't give more credit than we're credited.
Because
that statement has very little.
No. Your opinion, once again. So I don't think it's 100% invalid. I think there's other things that Rock adds to it. Like I said, merch, all that stuff, more viewership. People are gonna want to see the things. People maybe didn't want to come and watch WrestleMania anymore. Even you were like, I'm not going to WrestleMania anymore. Now this is something where it's like, hey, I want to go to WrestleMania. I want to watch. I want to do this. I want to do that. But like I said, I don't 100% agree with the statement. So, but
if you bought tickets to WrestleMania and you bought them $1,500 a piece, the Rock gets added to it. You could literally sell those.
Yeah, agreed. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree. It does things in terms of making more money. Yeah, I agree with that. That's why I'm saying I don't disagree 100% with his statement, but I do feel as though there's some validity to it. So I that's my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
well, he either adds value or he doesn't.
So no,
you know what I mean? It either adds value or it doesn't.
So making more money than any time in history. Rock hasn't been part of that. They've broken records upon attendance without him. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, they're going to, but they're going to make more because there's always more. There's not a when you're a big business like that, there's not a, oh, well, we're cool with just making this much. No, you add a megastar like The Rock to it, and now it adds 100% more value to it. To act like it doesn't is goofy, just asinine. Where does CM Punk go from here?
Poor guy. I actually do kind of feel bad for him. It's unfortunate him tearing his tricep, man. It sucks. It's another injury. I felt like that's part of the issue with his failed stuff, in AEW. Now he's coming here. Obviously, he had other things in AEW. I'm not an idiot. But him with the injury, it really sucks. But I do like the fact that he's just, when he comes back, he's coming after McIntyre. I feel like he really elevated McIntyre. Before CM Punk came back, I didn't give a shit about Drew McIntyre. I didn't care about his championship run during the pandemic. I could care less.
McIntyre didn't either.
I thought he was just very boring to me, but just with his heel turn and the disdain that he has for CM Punk back, and basically, you remember prior to the injury, everyone was saying there was only two possible winners for the Royal Rumble. It was CM Punk or it was Cody Rhodes. That's what everyone was saying. And Drew McIntyre's just here in the back, like, yo, what the fuck? I still work here. So his promos have been stellar. His heel work has been stellar. I think him feuding with CM Punk, I think some of his promos are actually shoots. I think he's really saying how he really feels about the situation on Punk just coming here thinking he's God's gift to earth. And I love it. I love the freaking TikToks of him working out, saying we're going to work on some triceps. I just love it all, and I'm here for that feud when CM Punk's healthy. That's something that's very exciting, and I can't wait to see.
Awesome. NXT call-ups.
NXT call-ups. Who we got?
Carmelo, Braun.
Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker. Carmelo Hayes soon. Tiffany Stratton just signed. So is Braun Breaker just a lock to sign with Raw, right? I mean, we all assume he's going to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. Is that a lock, or what are the chances he goes to SmackDown?
I don't know if it's a lock, but I think he will go to Raw.
Okay. Who else we got? There was a few. I forget.
Yeah, it was Carmelo.
Elektra Lopez is now back with Legado del Fantasma after her singles run in NXT really didn't go pretty much anywhere. She was just catting, Lola Vice at that point. So that breakup was much needed, and now she's back with
Escobar.
I love Santos Escobar too. I like that La Madrina's back with them. So I mean that's pretty cool.
I do too. I don't like. I don't like Hector and
Humberto.
Yeah.
Humberto, that is racist. You just picked the first Latino fucking name that popped into your head. You're like Hector.
No, you said Humberto, so that's why I was like, yeah. No, man, they have tried to do everything they can with those two guys. And I just feel like those two are dead weight. Weighing down Santos Escobar.
Oh, we do not agree today. I think I agree that they've done a lot to try to fix them and do what they can. I think they're in the best possible situation now with Legado del Fantasma and Santos Escobar leading it. I think now could be their chance to finally hit their stride. I think there's possibilities with them because the original Legado del Fantasma was so successful, and there's nothing in the way for me to feel as though that they won't be successful. But like I said, that tag team has failed. They've done everything they can, and I agree with you in that regard. So we shall see. But I think pairing them with Santos is a positive.
So why would you put them with a guy who has unlimited potential?
I just told you, because the way how hot Santos Escobar is, it's nothing but positive for them. putting him in the limelight, putting him in being pushed and making him the leader that he is. And factions always prosper. Usually, no, not always. That's a fucking stupid statement. Factions usually prosper, and that's something that could help benefit them, is what I'm saying. So this is basically like a last chance, last resort for them, piggybacking on Santos Escobar's success. And I think he can do it, and I think he can make them successful, is what I'm saying.
Well, I hope so for his benefit, because I don't, for his benefit, I hope that he's able, because when those two don't do anything and when those two can't get over, then hopefully that doesn't kill Santos Escobar's stride as well.
Agreed.
That's what I'm worried about. So I hate this decision. Santos Escobar could get a manager, and he should have been by himself, trying to revise the Legado El Del Fantasma with a different tag team, with a way worse no charisma tag team. I hate the idea, but hopefully Santos can carry the dead weight. So, Impact. Foley wants one more death match.
Stay home, Mick. I love you. You're one of my all-time favorites, but you're 58 years old. You can barely walk. Stay home. And if it does happen, I mean, WWE's not going to sanction that shit. He's going to be in some random. Maybe he shows up at GCW, or we're going to see him getting his ass beat by Mox. Like, I don't want to see it. GCW. Like, I don't want to see it. What's the GCW Deathmatch King? I forget his name.
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage, yeah. He'll probably do it with Nick Gage, and of course I'm gonna watch it. You know what I mean? Like, it's Mick Foley, but it's just like, dude, man. It's like, dude, man, stay home. Stay home.
I'll watch highlights. Where's Okada going?
So WWE. So Chicago Pro Wrestling Tees removed all his merch. Pro Wrestling Tees handles indie merches and even AEW merch. So for them to pull it, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to WWE.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, so Pro Wrestling Tees is in Chicago. Great store. If you guys ever need anything, hit me up. I'm like 20 minutes away. But Pro Wrestling Tees handles AEW merch officially. A lot of the stuff that you order from is from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yep.
That's number one. And number two, they also handle indie merch, because obviously the Forbidden Door is just so open that it doesn't exist in AEW. And they sell Impact, they sell, GCW stuff, they sell any indie promotion you could think of. Pro Wrestling Tees does it, and they do independent stuff. So for them to remove the merch, because they sell New Japan stuff there too, obviously, Okada, New Japan, and there's no doubt in my mind that he is going to WWE. Which is cool, but the thing is, how do I say this without sounding like a fucking idiot?
Too late.
Up until recently, Shinsuke Nakamura hasn't been good, in my opinion. I think that they've fumbled a lot with him. Him winning the Royal Rumble, him not winning the championship. There's not a lot of stuff they could do, but his promos lately has just been phenomenal to me. All right. Okada, when he comes to the States, what are we going to do? Is he going to be on NXT? Is he going to have a manager? How are we going to make him the superstar? Because he's been dubbed the John Cena of New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? So it's like, how do I get him that superstardom here in WWE? How are they going to package him? I don't know, and it makes me kind of nervous. So I would have rather him see going back to TNA or even AEW. I don't know if WWE is the right fit, but there's no doubt in my mind that's where he's going. So that's just me.
I agree. Obviously, I think Triple H works a lot better with some of those guys than obviously what we've seen in the past. But I still think you still have to worry with WWE being a mainstream product here in the States that they could possibly misuse him because it's hard for anybody in WWE with the way the WWE system is to get over without being able to work the stick. So
that's what I'm saying. You know, like to your point last week, we were talking about the return of Andrade. Andrade can speak English, but it's very broken. You know, and that doesn't say he's not an amazing performer, because I love Andrade, but part of his failures, not really failures, but he wasn't successful in his first WWE run because you can't get a crowd over without being able to work that mic. AEW, obviously there was booking issues, but even then his promos were very, very drawn out. He was speaking very slowly. It was really hard to engage with his character, and he's going to have the same issues when he's back with WWE. Yeah, it's something that worries me with these international stars that we all do love, but it's like, how are we going to get them over? You know, we need a guy, we need a manager, we need something. And I think Shinsuke Nakamura right now, I truly feel as though right now what they're doing with him is phenomenal. You know, with his promo packages that he's doing, I love it. I love it. His character, I've never been more engaged to his character than I have been right now. But I don't think that's something they could repeat with Okada, especially Okada being like an ultimate, you know, babyface like how John Cena is. I don't know. It's very hard for me to see him being as successful as Shinsuke right now in WWE without giving him a manager or someone that could speak for him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we'll see, you know, what Vince has, or not Vince, what Hunter has planned for Okada. So,
yep,
man, I was really, really, really not expecting the WWE signing, but like you said, Pro Wrestling Tees taking all that merch down makes me think that he's going to WWE.
I'm just saying, why take it down? You promote all the indies. You promote AEW. Obviously, is your biggest cash grab. Why take it down? Because WWE told you to take it down, and you had to sell it by a certain time. So I think he's already signed. Yeah.
No, I mean, if that's the case, then like I said, I would have a hard time believing otherwise. You got anything else for us tonight, sir?
No, man. I think that's it. Let's wrap the show up, man.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate everybody joining us tonight, watching. No matter if you were watching us on YouTube or watching us on Twitch. If you are still here and you have not already, make sure you hit that like button and that follow button. Greatly appreciate it. This has been season 2, episode 3 of Bad Booking with myself and Mark. Join us next week. Next week is the Super Bowl. So do we want to plan on having a Saturday night show?
Saturday night show I have reserved for my show, Smack Talk, but I could do a Friday show.
Okay.
If that's something you would like to do, we could do it immediately following SmackDown. That could be something. It's up to you guys. But yes, Super Bowl, obviously we all have our Super Bowl parties. Saturday is a Smack Talk, so we'll see. But yeah, definitely Saturday I can't do. Sunday we can't do. So it would have to be a Friday show.
Okay.
Yep.
No Monday show?
Unless you want to do it at 11:30 p.m.
No, I don't want to do that. Let's plan on Friday night next week then.
Yep,
I am totally okay with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Chase, Mark, Pro Wrestling Kingpin, appreciate y'all joining us tonight, and y'all have a fantastic night. Join us next week for another episode of Bad Booking.